Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leadership Talks. Today's topic, leading by reflecting. Many people may think of reflection as a one-time exercise that they finish early on in their career. I've already reflected and I'm aware of my strengths and my limitations, and accordingly, I have placed myself in the correct job title. I'm happy, I'm safe, I'm secure, no major problems, so I don't need to reflect. Now, there's something seriously wrong about this way of thinking. As long as you're working, you should be growing and developing. If you compare yourself today to, say, 4 or 5 years ago and find yourself almost in the same place, then you're not reflecting or you're not reflecting appropriately. And when I say the same place, by the way, I don't mean that you should be acquiring a new job title or getting a promotion. I mean that your skills are developing. You should feel that your skills are developing. Your communication skills, your problem solving skills, your critical thinking skills, your leadership skills. You should feel more confident. You should feel more mature. You should feel it, and other people should feel it as well. If you don't feel that, then you are not reflecting. You can only achieve this through proper reflection. So how can I reflect? Is there a specific model or formula? Well, yes, there is indeed. The educational literature is full of reflective models because reflection is a very important part in leadership. One of the simplest and most effective reflective models is designed by a theorist named Brookfield. Brookfield argues that in order for you to reflect effectively, you have to go through 4 major lenses. You cannot skip one of the lenses. The first lens he calls the autobiographical lens. And this is the lens that we are familiar with. This is when you go home at the end of the day and reflect on your performance, or you reflect on the major decisions that you have taken in the past period. The most important part about this lens is that you have to be totally unbiased. You have to be fair and square to yourself. The second lens is called the learner's lens. The learner's lens refers to your reflection with your subordinates. So if you're a teacher, you're reflecting with your helpers, you're reflecting with your co-teachers, you're reflecting with your students maybe. If you're a leader, then you're reflecting with your team, asking them about their feedback on your performance in the past period. Now, of course, in this lens, you have to give people the space to speak up and feel safe enough, and you have to be accepting of criticism. And the result is usually very enlightening and very interesting to see. It gives you another perspective. The third lens, according to Brookfield, is called the colleagues lens or the peers lens. And yes, from the name, you are reflecting with your peers. When teachers are sitting in the staff room and collaborating or exchanging experiences, whether formally or informally, they are creating a community of practice. They are reflecting. If you're a leader, then you may meet other leaders who have similar job titles and reflect on your major challenges and how you overcame those challenges. Again, this adds depth to your understanding. It enriches your reflection. So now we're done with 3 lenses. Now the 4th lens is very, very important. You cannot skip the 4th lens. It's called the theoretical lens. Now, as you are going through the first 3 lenses, you're most probably starting to arrive at conclusions. Now you need to have a compass. You need to make sure that those conclusions are grounded in theory. You need to have a reference point, a certain theoretical framework that you measure your outcome against. Or otherwise you may find yourself arriving at the wrong conclusions. So you need to make sure that you are constantly aware of the current educational research in your field of work. So how do I do this? Do I have to be a theorist? No, maybe you can just read. If your school, for example, is adopting a certain philosophical approach, then you may read about this framework. You can subscribe to an educational podcast, get more information, more current information. You may pursue some postgraduate studies, get a diploma or a master's or a PhD. So all these are forms or ways that you could use in order to stay up to date. So those are the 4 lenses. And if you go through those 4 lenses all the time, you are guaranteed to develop and grow. One last thing about reflection. Usually when you start reflection, you are reflecting on practice, meaning that there is a situation that is already over and you are reflecting on this situation. As you reflect and as you gain experience, you start to reflect in practice. So as the situation is unfolding, you are reflecting within the situation and reaching the correct conclusions within the situation. And this only comes with proper reflection, and you only get this with experience. That's it for today about reflection. Please stay tuned. Until next time, our topic is going to be leading by professionalism. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned.